All right, hello and welcome to the official primer on what the hell am I doing, right? On this YouTube channel. Primarily, anyways, I do various things, but this in particular, this passion project in particular, is something I do on the side, right? Not full time, something I do on the side. And we've been really successful with it, right? So, SXC, if you guys don't know, is an acronym for SNK X Capcom, and that is from SNK versus Capcom Match the Millennium, not Chaos, Match the Millennium. Match the Millennium, in my opinion, is one of the greatest crossovers, even, dare I say, better than CBS 2. Just that there's far more nuances and the little mini games and what characters, like the roster diversity and everything, and then you can unlock special moves and things like that. The game is just crazy. It's just on a handheld, so people kind of overlook it, but the game is amazing. So this is a spiritual successor of that, as well as me bringing a lot of moves from all of these versions into this project that we see here. You'll see a lot of the moves that I got from there as well. I took inspiration from everything. As you're going to see in this video, anime, OVAs, whatever, the movies, manga, I have seen or read almost everything. And if I haven't, I will eventually and add it. So that's essentially what I do. I take all forms of media that exist for these things and I try to bring it into one medium, right? So that you don't have to go, because if you guys don't know, by now, a lot of these fighting games are notorious for you never actually know what's going on in them, right? Because everything is happening off screen or in some one shoot manga or some panel or something like that. That's how it is. So you have to go to the official wikis to see the team stories and things like that. Unfortunately, that's very like troublesome, and a lot of people miss out on those things because it's not actually in the game, right? So my goal is to put all of that stuff in a game, right? So that is one main emphasis I like you to pay attention to, is to bring all of those things together, right? And it's the ultimate love letter. I don't have to do any of this. I only do it out of my love for these series, and I want to see Capcom and SNK specifically reign above all else. And also for me personally, as a creator, I want to surpass them as well. So that's my goal, to completely learn everything that they've done, master it, and surpass them. I don't want to be on the same level as anybody. I want to surpass everyone in the field. I will surpass all of you, guaranteed. Maybe not now, but I'm working on it. So just have that in mind, that another reason for me doing this is the actual challenge of it. It's not going to be easy, and it's not easy. It's very difficult. And a lot of the difficulty is kind of unfortunate, but it comes with the territory, But anyhow, this video here is just going to show you a little quick rundown of some of the things I was saying, like introducing moves from every iteration. That is the biggest thing in SXC that I want you guys to acknowledge, right? Is all of the moves that, characters, every iteration, they're either gaining a new move or losing a move or something like that, with where applicable. I can't do every single game because this would go on forever if I'm trying to keep up with every single game. But basically how I do it with the move list, and I'll go over this a little bit more, is that so for characters who have enough moves, I will retrofit those moves like into a dual assault, a team attack, or something like that, right? So not to over bloat it, I try to be really strategic about it, right? And then, as I'm doing the move sets, there's that's like a whole other thing to get into, really. But generally, I'm just trying to explain that adding all moves, I'm not just adding all the moves and just giving them like a useless move set, like moves that have no purpose or anything like that. Like every move has a purpose. It goes along with a specific route or something like that. So that is like another part of it. I'm not just randomly adding everything like that. So it's like, let's say Guile, for example, is a good example. Like in video games, he usually only has a few supers, like let's say CVS 2. But here I've given him his supers from SNK vs. Capcom Match the Millennium to to, you know, okay, CVS2, how a lot of characters didn't have like that many supers. It's like bringing everyone to be even, to where everyone has an equal amount of moves. That's pretty much the best way I can explain it. So everyone has the same amount of moves. The moves may not be the same and they may not work the same because each character has their individual toolkit. So it's like bringing all of that together, and the most important thing is to make it fun. I will always compare this to a Smash Bros type of thing, where like the I'm doing the thing with my fingers, balance, as they say, is not really my focus because I'm trying to make something fun. Because balance is just something that people chase, and you can't really truly attain it. Because if you actually truly attain it, then you know, when you watch these tournaments and these fighting games, then everyone will be using just about any character, but that's not how it works. People focus on the characters that they think are the best, that's going to help them win. I'm trying to do something to prevent that by making all characters crazy, all characters overpowered, and all characters having their best tools that they've ever had. So, without further ado, excuse me, I'm just going to play this video here. Man, it's just watching this, man, it's like it's interesting. I made this video completely by myself. These guys did not even know that I made this video until they saw it. So before I tried to put a little team together, right? But it wasn't really successful in me doing what I really wanted to do. It wasn't until I had to break off from everyone that I started to find success. And that's just because I feel like a lot of people, they don't really take it as serious as I do. And you'll hear that because I take it very seriously. Because if you're going to spend your time doing something, why not actually take it seriously and put, maximum effort into it? That's why currently, that's what our motto is right now. Results or it didn't happen. How do you balance all of that? Yep. And there's a playlist as well, so you guys can watch these videos. This is the early version of this animation. It's kind of painful to see because like now I've worked on it way more. But yeah, this video is just going over everything I just said, just in video form. Yep, you know how CVS2 has level 2 supers that are just more damage, and how people do that? I don't do that. All the level 2s are different animations entirely. All moves from different games. Dual assaults. Dual assaults are just double teams. The name is from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Yeah, some recreated, some brand new. Like I made that one up. Shout out Combos. He's still with me right now today too. It's just that a lot of these guys are in school working full time, so they can't really put in the same time right now. So they're just kind of on interim status, like, on hiatus for a bit. But when they come back, things gonna be crazy. As of right now, it's primarily just me. That's why I'm always saying that. That classic Kim super, and I'm proud of the freaking KOF 14 version of that air super when he kicks him down to the ground. But these moves were not ever in CVS2. That super's from KOF 13. That Shin Shuriken from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Reuse Dinjin mode. Dinjin Shoryuken, Dinjin Hadoken. Changes during install. That Street Fighter 4 super. Street Fighter 5 super. And then just showing you that Street Fighter 4, just showing you all the different type of characters that I want to put in it. I want to put all characters in it. That's from Street Fighter 4. Shout out Chamat. Street Fighter 4. I did all of this, by the way. Infinity Puncher. From KOF 14. That's I made that up. That's from Rival Schools. Gaia Cross. Like adding team attacks and everything. That's from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Shiki. Made her range of transformation. That's another version of Shiki. If you know, you know. I lost all of this stuff in a freaking crash, man. It devastated me. So for you guys that don't know, that I lost all of this stuff that's in this video, and basically over time I've been having to redo it. But just look at the different characters, and then yeah, of course, just showing off the different super moves from different games. That's from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Another team attack I made up. Classic, you know, Joe. That low kick from Wild Ambition. Team attack I made up. I don't really need to say that I made up all of this, so yeah. If it's not from an official game, I made it up. In addition, you can also see the different palettes. Look at Robert with the stash and the goatee. Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. You guys just saw an updated version of this recently. Yoshitora. It's the boy right there. I'm gonna remake all of this stuff eventually. It just takes a long time. Force Captain Commando. On my resume, I just would like you to see that I know all fighting games, all fighting game characters. I am a real life Mokujin. You know, Jane and Hayato. I mean, man, I freaking made Hayato way better. Like, he's so sick. Ashura, the Ashura you didn't know about, the SNK Ashura. Mr. Super Saiyan himself. Some of these moves I borrowed from other creators, but this is old, so now I've changed it though. Hog Stalkers, Rage of the Dragons, Fatal Fury. Battle Slug. Ricky 1. People know that I love Gaitendo. And I freaking love installs, man. Installs that change the moveset. That's how they dealt with the Orochi right there. This is from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum special intro. I made a super out of that. And this one, I gotta rework. I'll make something better. But of course, you know the classic movie super. Namco X Capcom. So as you watch this, I just went over so many different games and so many different series. yeah, so I just went over a lot of stuff in that little short period of time. So excuse me for you having to sit through that with me. But yeah, like hopefully you saw, like as far as the moves, it was just moves, different characters from various series that we haven't seen in a long time and things like that. And then where I want to also go to another video here. I have this here because I turned this off, so there will be no ads, but I'm about to turn this back on. So excuse me, you gotta see this. Let me see. And then I'm gonna go on this one so you can see another little quick thing over. Like I said, the most important thing being, God dang it, the most important thing being bringing back all the moves and everything like that. Okay, so yes, this little blah blah. I'm just saying that today I'll be showing a sample of some of the classics movie recreated. Shout out Chama again, who helped me with this Joe specifically, and also Combos for Days, who made Screw Straight and some other things as well. Yeah, but like I said, when I'm doing this, like I'm just researching like crazy. I have all the games. I own all the games. The Steam Deck helps me out. It's like tremendously. It makes it so much easier doing research and everything like that. But this little thing here, it doesn't. You can read it on your own time, but it's just saying that I'm gonna show you comparing the classic moves to how I recreated them using CVS2 sprites, right? And then you guys saw the sprites and how much they cost and everything. That's why it's such a. This is the most difficult part of it, and that's getting the sprites. And then, acquiring the budget for that. And I can only acquire budget by using these means that they have given me. So that's why it's going to take the longest amount of time. But it was always my hope that I'm not necessarily interested in being a content creator, because I'm actually like, I want to create video games, not really make YouTube videos, right? It's just that my content is the videos that I create, or the content that I create, right? I just don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people or playing other games when they're on YouTube and stuff like that. But me, I'm making it, and then, excuse me, I'm making it, and then I have to also do the content creator side as well. And I'm not that good at that because I don't put a lot of time into doing that. But here, let me just get back to the video so you can see what I'm saying. These moves, as you see, I'm showing the original game that it came from, and then how we recreated it. And we're doing this with all characters, even the ones that are not my favorite. I'm personally doing that. As you guys saw Daimon, I do not like Daimon at all, but you're gonna see, and it's gonna look like he's my favorite character because that's the type of effort that I put into it. That's why I'm always telling you guys, man, go play the games, man. If you go play the games, you're gonna really help me out in this movement. That's classic KOF. He could do this, by the way, but the extension and everything is Wild Ambition. So like with that one, if he hits you up close with that first hit, then it does this. He puts you in that tornado. That's Joe's coolest freaking super. Such a sick super. Of course, the famous low kick. Oh, kick him in the shin. So a lot of this is the meat and potatoes of all of it. Bringing back all the moves from all the games. And then anything that's excess, it will go to being a dual assault or something like that, right? Or if a character has enough stuff that could make an EX mode, right? It depends. It really depends on the character. But yeah, as you see, because in CVS they changed that. He doesn't have the classic KOF. Because I say it like this: people who play KOF more than Capcom games will understand these differences a little bit more. Because it's like when the characters were brought over to Capcom versus SNK, they were kind of neutered. You know what I mean? They weren't really their true KOF expressive selves. Especially characters like Joe, Kim, Benimaru, like stuff like that. They lost a lot of their best moves. So essentially, I'm trying to restore those things. But yeah, that is the next video that you should see. And there's a playlist of this stuff, by the way, that you can check out. There's a playlist, but now I'm gonna jump over here. Yeah, this is nonprofit, you know, whatever. People will lie and say whatever. I'm not gonna get into stuff like that, but yeah, we've been concepting this stuff for a long time. There's an ending here, some intro stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to look for this layout here of the modes, and I'm gonna go over some of the modes more in detail as well. But here, let me see this one right here. So essentially, for the modes, I'm just gonna give a quick little rundown of the modes here. So as I said, the main thing gameplay wise, as we saw, is adding all moves from all games. That's the main thing. So that's like, we have our own gameplay system and everything, which is influenced by Capcom versus SNK, like all fighting games, including Guilty Gear as well, because you saw I got the burst in there, which got that from the Roman cancel stuff. But my favorite parts of each of those games, right? And the gameplay itself is it takes most like inspiration from King of Fighters, specifically KOF 13, KOF 14, like the combo structure and the way the links work and things like that. That's why you see a lot of characters go from normal to command normal, things like that. Those type of chains that are in SNK games, but it's still 6 buttons like Capcom vs SNK 2, right? So it's adding all of those things together and, you know, making, you know, something out of it. So going over the modes, right? So story battle. This is its own section. I will have to see if I can find some of the images on here. We should have it on here somewhere. But let me just go down. So story battle, Chronicles. Chronicles is like you will play as a select character and you will go through their timeline, right? You will go through their journey to get to where they are today. So the whole point of that is like, I wanted there to be a mode where, say you pick Ryu and you go through his entire journey, which made him into the character that he is in the latest game, right? To fill the gap, the missing, you know, because all of this, like a lot of stuff happens off screen, a lot of things are unexplained and things like that. So we take all the media that exists out there from comics, manga, whatever, and from all of the games, the non-canon endings and all of that stuff, and we fit it in where there is a void, if that makes sense. And then we'll rearrange a lot of things to make it make sense as well. So, let's say like, you know, Guile's ending or Charlie's ending, you know, things like that. It's like you can take the ending from Alpha 3 and you can make, I mean, you have to know what I'm talking about to understand this point that I'm trying to make here. So I kind of feel like a lot of people won't know what I'm talking about specifically. So excuse me for that. But some people, like in Alpha 3, Charlie stays behind and he holds Bison, right? And the base explodes and supposedly he's dead. But then in Alpha 2, which is the ending that they use canonically for Charlie, when the plane shoots him down, it's like you make the events of Alpha 3 happen where he stayed back and the base exploded, but they survived and they ended up in that spot in Venezuela. Then the ending of Alpha 2 happened. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So instead of just being an empty point that you know, it just skips, we use that as supplementary information to, you know, flesh out the characters more and just drive the story more, make it more story driven. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll try to find other examples of that, by the way. But another example, I could use Chronicle. I made a video with Rock before to show the concept of that. So it basically shows Rock his first entry. He's fighting against Terry, right? You know, doing some training. Then he goes and eventually he's gonna fight Kane, or he'll fight other opponents like whomever his rival is. Basically, the main battles that make the character the character. That's essentially what Chronicle is, and that's what separates it from arcade. You know, and the actual story mode I'll go over as well. But Chronicle is focused on that character specifically. It's their story and how it went for them. So that is what Chronicles is. And then Sagas is specifically the events that have happened in the games as told by the games, right? So it's like KOF 94, Kyo, Daimon, Benimaru. Eventually they're gonna fight Ragul, you know, and then I merged KOF 94 and 95. So eventually Saishu is also gonna be in the mix there. Man, his sprites, man, need work. But anyhow, trying to recreate the lore of the games specifically. How is that different from Chronicles? Well, you have a set character, like you have a set amount of characters that you can play through in Sagas. So let me say, for example, if I were to play Rio in Chronicles, it would go over all of his main fights, all of his rivals specifically. It's like a mode where you only fight against your rivals, the characters that impact them in the story the most. So he will, I mean, again, this is another thing you're going to have to know about this stuff. So he's going to fight Mr. Big, you know, Mr. Karate, Robert, Takuma, whatever, eventually leading up to fighting Terry and things like that, because that happens in Wild Ambition. He's going to fight Guy Tendo from Buriken 1, like things like that. If you're following me, for those of you guys who know like these characters. So, and then Sagas is only going to be like you're in the Art of Fighting saga. So when Yuri gets kidnapped, you only could play as Rio and Robert, and you fight whatever enemies that we have from Art of Fighting to represent that series. So it's going to be like similar to Street Fighter V. You know how they put characters in place there if the character is not actually in the game? It's going to be something similar like that. So Art of Fighting, gonna be like AG, King, Mr. Big, Mr. Karate, like I said, in that type of order like that. Recreating the events from the game to tell you the story of those games. Right? This is ambitious AF, but I love it. It's so fun. That's why I'm not really worried about rushing or anything. I'm taking my time with it because the whole point is to get everyone caught up to speed with all of these games. That's the whole point, putting all in one form of media. A lot of people don't understand that I'm actually trying to do something like this because I'm trying to help the community in that way, because a lot of people, they underestimate the importance of fleshing out characters. I'm telling you, people are sleeping on that. Just because some games have tried and failed doesn't mean that it's not the way to go. I truly think that it is the way to go. Flesh out characters. You need to flesh out characters. Anyways, that's Sagas. I also think I have something right here as well for that to show you an example of Sagas here. Let me see right here. Sorry for the ads if, ads pop up or whatever. So, I'm going to mute this. So, for example, you're going to go to the main menu and you choose Sagas, right? This is how I had envisioned it. Saiyan Saga, right? So this is the same thing, like Saiyan Saga. Think Street Fighter 1 Saga, Street Fighter 2 Saga, Street Fighter 3 Saga, Street Fighter 4 Saga, whatever. KOF 94 Saga, KOF 96 Saga, KOF 97 Saga, whatever. Look at it like that. It's going to be like that. So these sagas are going to be different things that you can choose and play through it, just like in how they do it in Dragon Ball Z games. I just think that Dragon Ball Z is the perfect example, RIP Toriyama, for this type of thing. So it's just like this is exactly the thing that inspired me for the Sagas mode for that. So as you see, all of the sagas like that, even the one in the What If as well, like for example, Evil Kin, like Kin under the influence of the Satsui no Hado, stuff like that, is gonna be in the What If, or Dark Karen, things like that, like things that are for fun, specifically for fun. So that is what Sagas is. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm gonna go to the next one. So And then I also have a thing on here. So Crossroads is the adventure mode that you guys see from the videos on the channel. I also have this up here, but I don't want to lose my spot. But I'm gonna have to, I guess. Crossroads is the adventure mode that you see when I first did it with Buletta and things like that. Let me see here. Let me go find it. It's way up here. Okay, well, adventure mode is like this. These videos here. As you saw, adventure mode is like this. So before I get into this video, or actually I'll just let it play like this, right? So adventure mode. Wait, let me make sure the video is even on here. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so adventure mode is exactly what it sounds like, right? Adventure mode is modeled after Super Smash Brothers adventure mode, right? Melee specifically, where you go to the different worlds that are inspired by the characters themselves. That's my goal for this mode. So look at it like this, like look at the different series that exist. So for example, Final Fight, you go through Metro City and the enemies are going to be those that show up in Metro City. You go through somewhere in Makai and the enemies are, as you see, like characters from Darkstalkers. You go to Strider's universe and there's characters from Strider or whatever. There's an abundance of sprites and things like that to create a mode like this to just have, you know, freaking little fodder enemies to do stuff like that. So the adventure mode is gonna be stuff like this where there's like gonna be traps and puzzles and things to navigate, just like you would play in like Subspace Emissary type of thing. So that's what adventure mode is. So we're trying to create a whole mode, a separate mode where you're gonna play through all of these stages in order to get to whatever whoever is the final boss of this adventure mode is. And then you guys have seen videos like I've made this video too, showing you just trying to do it. So thing is, like, the hardest part about this is like the level designing. Like Strong FS does a great job, but he's also working on his own thing as well as this. So, you know, we kind of have to split the time to work on this. And then you also saw the latest video we did on this when we're playing it online. So it does work online. You can actually play this up to 4 players on co-op. So that's something unique with IkemenGo. And you can have 4 different inputs, 4 different controllers playing with 4 human players on these type of modes. And these are just prototypes. Like I said, we're trying to create a visual so you can see the idea in practice. But I just think it's super sick for a fighting game to have modes like this. And the most important thing about this mode and how I wanted it to be is that it's a mode to teach you how to use the characters or to like fully have fun with their movesets, because you have access to all of the moves that they have in the normal fighting game portion, right? And the only thing that's different is that, like, you know, the camera, there's a button to change size as well, but it's not like those games where when you play a mode like this, the command system changes, like the configuration changes like to a different layout. This layout is exactly how you would play in the game, with the life bar and everything. Just like Street Fighter 6 World Tour. Just like that type of thing. But yeah, that's that. That's the adventure mode. And then I'm also going to go over, let me see here. Let me get back to that. Okay, Cross Impact. So Cross Impact is the beat 'em up mode. The beat 'em up mode is not the same as adventure mode, right? So adventure mode is, as we saw, like Super Smash Bros. Melee, that adventure mode. Man, if anyone can design a layout for a stage that's like the freaking Hyrule Castle, oh my god, imagine playing through a level like that with these characters and their movesets. I would like to create a stage like that. But yeah, we really, really need people who are good with stage designing and stuff like that to really go crazy with that mode. So if anyone's watching this and you want to get on board with that stuff, like, you're welcome. But serious inquiries only. Seriously, please. Because if not, it's going to waste our time. So Cross Impact is the beat 'em up mode, like I said. And I have a video of boost mode from... Oh, wait. Oops, not this one. Here it is right here. And then also, someone also had gone further with that before I saw it too. So in Guilty Gear Isuka, there's a mode called boost mode, right? And it's a beat 'em up, right? You choose a character, and then you're gonna the same way you're gonna go through a bunch of different stages. This is exactly the same type of thing that I'm trying to do with both the adventure mode and the beat 'em up mode. So you're gonna start with a character you pick, and you're just gonna play through this beat 'em up mode. I don't know if anyone, a lot of people don't even know about this, but man, these type of modes are so freaking fun. I wanted to see this return. You know, it's in Grand Blue Fantasy, like a lesser version, but this something like this would be way better. You see, it still has Z access, and IkemenGo recently has Z access support, so we can fully do this as well. So again, like people who are doing open BR, if you want to hop on and try to help us develop this further, please, because I'm trying to make all of these things into modes that where eventually, like our version is gonna be the first of it fully realized. I mean, I'm not to say there's not other people working on theirs as well, but we want to make something that eventually can be used as a basis for other people to create more content of this type, right? I'm trying to everything I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it popular so that you never know, like there could be a whole new slew of creators who now we want to develop for this side specifically, right? And I just think it would be really cool because it's just more content for the community overall, and it's more things to do in a fighting game, right? So like I said, the adventure mode is completely different from this. This is literally just you're just beating up different enemies and different, you know, different sequences of the stage. It's not much more than that. For the adventure mode, there's going to be more platforming and puzzles and things like that, right? And then, you know, when you get to the certain part of the stage, you fight the boss and all of that. This is just linear, like an actual beat 'em up, and then you're going to get to the end and fight the boss. Next stage, you're fighting guys until you get to the boss, etc., etc. Same thing. So that's what that is. And then here's another concept that someone made, and they went even further with this because this is in IkemenGo already. And as you see, this is proof that you can do exactly everything that I'm saying right now. Right? So this is a mode that I want to have, and I want to make it at least 2-player co-op. I don't know about 4 yet because I haven't gotten that far into doing this myself. I'm not as far as this individual is, right? Because I'm doing so many other things. First, I'm still trying to get all the characters done in the first place, so I'm like way behind on this stuff. But yeah, like you see right here, this is the type of mode that I want to have. That's what Cross Impact is gonna be. This mode. That's like an actual beat 'em up. I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. But yeah, I just think that this would be so sick. And then you guys can check this out. Just put in IkemenGo beat 'em up mode and you'll see this guy's channel. Shout out to this guy, NSC Games. So that is that mode. And then we're getting down to some of the regular modes, right? So arcade battle. So this, all of these quests is you click on quests just like we saw on the Dragon Ball portion. You click on a mode, then you choose between those modes that are within it. Same thing, arcade battle. Inspired by Tekken, you know, classic arcade mode against the CPU, and ending will play upon defeating all opponents. This is the regular thing that we see in most fighting games, the standard thing. So arcade battle, you got solo, team play, team co-op, things like that. So, you know, solo play, 1v1, team, you can do like various combinations of that. But I would just say the main focus for me is actually single and turns. Single and turns are the main emphasis of this project because of what you can actually do combo wise with these characters, it's automatically going to be broken in like 4v4. I'm just letting you know. And the only reason I've kept 3v3 and 4v4 in there was just for entertainment, to keep like a funky mode in there, like Street Fighter X Tekken Scramble Battle. The whole purpose of me including 3v3 and 4v4, and you can also do Simo as well, like, you know, like dynamic battle type of stuff. I keep all of that stuff in, even though it may be broken, like people can easily find a way to break it. I understand that, but I keep it in just for fun, just for the fun factor. A lot of devs remove that stuff because there's no way for it not to be broken. You guys have to understand that. A lot of the way that you structure what a character can do in a game has a lot to do with how it's going to work in another mode. right? Because say you have one specific move with the character, and if he meets or he, she, whatever, if that character is with another character who just so happens to create some type of loophole or some crack in the armor that can cause an infinite and break the game. It's like that easy just from characters having different movesets, how they work and things like that. There's no way to like perfect having all of these in one game. You know, that's why when a fighting game is usually one type, it's not 1v1 and 2v2 and 3v3 and 4v4. It's not all of those things together. So I'm just saying this to you that you understand that I know that it's going to be broken. I understand that. But for me, like I said, I'm not trying to make a competitive Evo game. I'm trying to make something fun so you can have some crazy fun moments and laugh. And, you know, fun is the most important thing to me as a dev. Balance is something that you can chase but never truly attain. So, like I said, you can also play it through co-op with another human player. You can play with your little brother. You don't have to fake that he's playing anymore. And then we have versus battle, you know, typical versus battle, 1 versus 2, team co-op, same stuff. Cross battle network, this is the online. So currently in this time of this video, IkemenGo has a rollback build, which SNK is not running on. I have not attempted to port that over to that yet or anything, and I'm not following the progress on the actual rollback site. So you guys will have to look at that into that yourselves. But there is someone who was working on that. I don't know if they are now. I don't believe so. But that's a little bit on the slower side because the reason why, if anyone's been following me, I've been promoting IkemenGo for that specific reason. So we could get more people onto it and into that who are more experienced with that side of things so they could help with that. But the engine essentially can have rollback netcode, but it's not really dependent on me. It's like a separate person who was working on that on the side. So, and again, we're all doing this for passion. So no one's getting paid to do it. So, you know, the time that they can actually work on it is basically up to their circumstance. But currently, IkemenGo has delayed base netcode. It's better than nothing. You know, it's not the best, but you know, you could potentially find people that you could play with no problem, with no lag. But it does have delay-based netcode by default. But if the engine were to get rollback netcode, that means any project made on IkemenGo will have rollback and all access to all of these modes. Do you guys see now the vision here, how I'm trying to create these things to really breathe another, like more life into our scene because it's nearly dead. For those of you guys who know, like bullies kind of killed off everybody. But with these modes and all of this, you know, fresh content, I'm hoping to cause like a little bit of a revival, if you will. But yes, online versus online co-op, like you could do the online adventure mode, the online beat 'em up mode, online survival, things like that. Training dojo, you know, training. We'll a lot of these things will eventually flesh out more, so we'll see what we can have in there. We wanted to add a trials mode. Trials mode is something that was being worked on. You can actually search IkemenGo trials mode. It will be something that we will eventually have. Shout out CD2, who is currently trying to learn more about these modes to help us implement them. He's also working with us now as well. He also has an engine which he's working on, Ikemen Plus Ultimate, a different version of that, which I'm not gonna really go over in this video. I'll make a separate video for that. But anyhow, like a lot of modes, like for example, event mode from Super Smash Bros. Melee. Anyone knows that? I'm sure a lot of you guys have played that event mode where there's like a set of challenges that you must play using specific characters to win and things like that. So there will also be something like that in there. That's what event is right there. The name is to be determined. But that's the same event mode from Super Smash Bros. Melee. Bonus games are your destroy the car, you know, things like that. Destroy the bricks and things like that. I would like to incorporate more of the mini games that were in SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium, if possible. Or I would like to create something like Tekken Ball as well. It just depends on interest and everything. But that's what bonus games are. It's going to be the little bonus games that are in between the rounds that you'll play in arcade mode. But you could play them at any time by accessing this menu. So challenge, right? Challenge. take on a series of challenges in this mode. So time attack, these are your standard fighting game modes, right? Time attack, how fast can you beat it? Survival, how many fights can you survive? Survival co-op, boss rush from CVS2, you know, fight only enemies that are the bosses, sub bosses, and we have a lot of sub bosses and bosses just to make, you know, more variety, right? Anyone who played, you know, some of the KOF games, how you could face Orochi Leona, Orochi Iori, we're bringing characters like that back to the sub boss status. Evil Ryu, freaking Violent Ken, Dan, things like that. Mega Man Zero, yeah, but from SVC Chaos. And then, you know, got the classic Street Fighter 2. Oh, wait, versus 100, you know, versus 100. Time challenge, got the classic Street Fighter 2 modes and score challenge. And then here we have gallery. So gallery, you have character profiles, bios, whatever. Theater, you can watch. Well, we'll see what actually goes in here, like videos, you know, like of the intro and things like that you typically see in games. Secret Factor from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is like a shop system that hopefully we'll be able to integrate in the future. Because before, I believe I mentioned DLC, how it would be cool is if we can make it so, you know, like Street Fighter 2 palettes, whatever, like the various games that I recreate the palettes from, use that as downloadable content that you can unlock in the game. So that's what I would like to do with that. So that's why we recreate all of these looks from all of the games, and DLC will be free that you can unlock yourself. It's not something you actually have to pay for. And I just have to go over that. A lot of times we use terms just that are, you know, so you understand like some of these things, like using DLC doesn't mean that it's paid. We're just using it because it's a term that people understand, like downloadable content. And then, you know, some watch stuff, CPU over CPU, endless watch, replay, watch your online replays and things like that. Ikemen does have a replay system, so when you do play online, you can go ahead and watch your matches, options, etc., whatever. And let me see what else I want to touch on. So that's just the modes. Those are just the modes, right? And then here's so in addition to these modes, one of them that's not on here is the actual story mode, right? So this is one of the synopsises. Well, first let me say that, look, the whole point of me doing like the Chronicle and the sagas is to get everyone caught up to speed on all of the events that have transpired to getting to this game, which is the actual crossover itself. So look at it like all of these characters are going through each of their stories that they've experienced, and then they're going to be transported to this world where everyone is together, this shared universe, if that makes sense, right? And then we'll have our own story, which is the SXC original story, which will lead up to the events of like the CVS2 tournament, in which they fight the enemy that is, you know, the Akuma fusion of Rigor, just because those sprites exist, and why not use it, you know? So that's going to be leading up to that. And this is going to just be, from this part, it's just going to be our own thing, right? Where we just go crazy with however we want the story to go and how we want the characters to interact. So, like I said, you will have two, well, more than two. You're gonna be able to relive all of these game stories, you know, in a condensed way, of course, with what we have applicable, like with what resources we have at our disposal, right? So within reason, and then we're gonna have our own thing at the end. So another thing that's important here is this: unlockable characters. Because you can have unlockable content in IkemenGo. People, you guys may not know this. Just like an actual game, and I use Super Smash Bros. As an example, right? Because that's how I want to do it. You have to use a specific character or whatever, play it. We can set the conditions, right? We can set the conditions. They're not determined yet, but we can make the conditions to whatever. Say you beat the game with Ryu and you unlock Evil Ryu. You beat the game with Evil Ryu, unlock Akuma. You get what I'm saying? You beat the game with Cammy to unlock Delta Red, or the Capri, whatever. You beat the game with Kyo and you unlock EX Kyo, you unlock Kusanagi or whatever. It's gonna be like that. So even though you see on the select screen all of these slots that are filled in, all these characters are gonna be locked at the beginning. You will have to unlock all the characters. I'm not interested. Like, you gotta hear me where I'm coming from. I don't give a f about people who are like on the competitive side. Oh, I want all characters so I can do X, Y, Z. I don't care. What I want is for you to have to play. Yes, force you like Super Smash Bros. You're gonna have to play and unlock all the characters before you can do that. Unless there's a way, we should be able to actually do it to where online all the characters will be unlocked automatically. But for all the other modes, they'll be locked. You should be able to do that. I'll have to talk to CD2 about that because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that it could be like that. Because you can have different select screens for different modes. Let me see. So yes, the unlock characters, as I'm saying, and we have a concept for that right here. I always gotta make sure that this thing is showing. So you see it right here, like I just said, you beat it with Ryu, and then you unlock Eva Ryu. And the important thing that I want other designers to see about unlocking content is that, look, this is one of the greatest feelings. One of the greatest feelings, yo. Is that I always use Soul Calibur as an example, and I'm gonna pull that up in a second if I can find that video. But it's like when you finish a stage, you're gaining the experience, and then you hit a little chime, and they're like, "Oh, you just unlocked this. You just unlocked this." Smash Brothers does it as well, but I just always love the way that Soul Calibur does it specifically. I'll find it in a second, but as you see here, this is what our screen would look like when you unlock a character, and they're gonna be doing their animation, whatever. And then before you fight them, like I said, Smash Brothers inspiration, they're gonna be like a little warning. Oh, here comes a new challenger type of thing. And then if you beat them, you unlock them. Okay, let me see here. Let me find this. I'm gonna go over the roster in a second. Hopefully I can find it and won't have it to go too far. Hey, we be going crazy in here, man. I'm telling y'all. But this group is not for the lighthearted because I take this stuff very, very seriously. I want to find that video, darn it. But yeah, it's like freak when you unlock something in Soul Calibur. This, dang, where did I put it? Oh, and you know this, I actually, let me just stop this really quickly. So I want to say for bosses, I'm gonna get back to the Soul Calibur unlocking characters thing, but look, something that I've always liked for boss characters is that when you beat them, they transform in the second round. So all characters, all the boss characters that have an alternate form are gonna do something like that. And then we're gonna bring back stuff like this where Akuma comes in and interrupts. We're gonna have all the classic stuff like this as well. But when you beat Akuma in this game, he gets back up and he transforms to Shin Akuma. I did this in my Goken video. So after you beat him, he gets back up and he turns to Shin Akuma. In the second round, you fight him as Shin Akuma. So I recreated this. This right here. So sorry for the commercials. All right, so as I said, I'm not. This is far from a game. I'm trying to bring all these ideas together and bring them to life. I'm learning how to do this. I don't know how to do all of this stuff. I'm literally learning as I go. You see how I need to work on how fast he gets up, whatever. But the thing is, the concept is there, okay? I am trying to recreate what you just saw in Street Fighter Second Impact. He gets up and he transforms to Shinakuma, and then from thenceforth you fight him as Shinakuma. And the thing, I'm gonna go over like more moveset stuff later, but the alternate forms are not just Echo Fighters. They have completely different movesets and normals were applicable, but their moveset completely changes, right? So let's just use Akuma as an example. Let's say he's Street Fighter 3, whatever, base, but then he's like more Marvel vs. Capcom inspired during Shin Akuma. Then he also has Oni moves, blah, blah, blah. I be going crazy on it. Please, guys, check me out. People be sleeping on the actual work that I actually be putting onto this because they're just like, man, hurry up and release a game. You have no idea what I'm actually trying to create, which is just unfathomably way better than a Rust job. But let me see here. Dang, let me find this freaking video. This is one of the endings, right? There's gonna be endings as well. Oops, dang, that's kind of loud. But yeah, we've been concepting a lot of stuff here. Let me see. This is some intro stuff. And if you guys are here, you can always check the pinned messages that are continue screen. It has to be somewhere around here. I apologize for this. Wait, is it this? Yay, it is this. Okay. Dude, my eyes light up when I see this. So this is so underrated to just be playing a game and then to hear these sounds, to hear the following sounds, right? A new feature has been unlocked, right? Yeah! That's it! I know, that's it! But that's so hype! Congratulations! Blah, 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 blah. It's now selectable. Whatever. Just that with that little chime that goes after it, you just been rewarded. Like I said, Smash Brothers does it as well, but I've always just loved the little sound that Soul Calibur has when you unlock stuff. You need this in games. This is underrated. This is so underrated because a lot of times you play a game and you unlock something, you don't even know you unlocked it. There's a lot of games that are like that. If they even have unlockables, if that, right? But yeah, this is going to be like this. We're going to have hella unlockables. Stages, characters, costumes, whatever. But yes, that's going to be sick as heck. And this is me. I was like, man, we need a chime. I'm not going to play that. But yeah, that's that. So I went over the modes. We have our system mechanics here, which is based on CVS2. You got the power charge, dodge roll, guard break, because you can get your guard broken, zero counter, mega crash, which is from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. It's like the get off me, right? So there's two bursts, right? There's a defensive burst and there's an offensive burst. The defensive burst is a get off me. I recently changed that so where it costs 1,500, so that's 1.5 power bars. So you could do it twice with max meter, right? So you have two chances, like let's just say to escape combos if you had max meter. But it's like you have to decide, do you want to get out of a combo or do you think they're going to drop it? That's why I focus so hard on making the execution tight so that you can drop combos and you're rewarded for practicing. So to create a game that you can actually get better at by creating a skill floor. And then we also have these things to where you're not just caught in a combo and it's over. You have chances to get out of it, but you're going to have to sacrifice you being able to pull off a big combo, right, to get out of one. So, and that's the defensive burst. The other burst is the one that was inspired from Guilty Gear. It's when you're not being hit. The other defensive burst, you can only do that when you're being hit, when you're in hit stun. The offensive one, you can do it. You cannot be being hit. You do it to cancel a move or whatever. And it's essentially the same as Guilty Gear's Roman cancel, where if you hit them with this burst, you're going to enter a little period of time slow. And it's like moves that normally would not connect will now connect, or you can even get an opening to get in and set yourself up for what you're gonna do next. That costs 2 bars to do that. Um, and that's what cross impact is. Mega Crash, like I said, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom inspiration, the get off me move to just knock anyone away, whatever. Active switch is like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. You know, when you're just raw tagging, but if you tag to count like into a special or whatever, a combo, that is gonna take like 500 meter. So it's gonna take a little bit of bar every time you active switch. But the thing that I haven't added yet is a visual to show you when you can tag. But there is a cooldown. It's not truly like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite where you can essentially do that at any point in time. There's a small cooldown that you can before you can active switch in succession. And then we also have parry and excel. Excel, you know, custom combo, things like that. And our Excel is different because it's merged with max mode from KOF. You know how you can cancel into max mode, but you could never cancel into custom combo. But with ours, I wanted to merge those two things so you can combo into Excel, right? To make it more fun and flashy. You could use it for a variety of ways. You don't have to just use it for the custom combo effect. You can use it to cancel a move or save yourself. So there's that, and we also have a video of the mechanics, like it's on freaking Hollow's channel. You can see it, but let me see it. Oh, this is the ranking screen, but not this one. Yeah, like this. So it's gonna, everything that I just went over, we're gonna update this obviously and show you everything about like the system mechanics and things like that. But just like that, this is literally our concept of everything that I was saying. But like I told you guys, the whole goal of this is to revive the 90s era of fighting games. How often are people saying like, oh man, I miss 90s Capcom, whatever. But no one is going to do anything about it, right? So we're here to do something about it. That's what we're doing because we love fighting games so much. And we want to bring back that feeling. And this is from Street Fighter Alpha 3, the ranking screen. Like, people don't know, IkemenGo has advanced so far. This is not Mugen, people, and that's not a negative thing. I'm just trying to say that we are advancing things over here. Everyone who's busting their butt on working on the engine and stuff, we gotta thank them. Shout out to everybody doing that. Because this stuff is about to be crazy. That's what I'm telling you. You guys are like, some people are, I get it, you're hype about what you see now. Man, you have seen nothing yet. You have seen literally nothing yet. But with this video, I just hope to explain to people, like, I'm not freaking making a Mugen, bro. Like, we're literally making a full-scaled video game. But yeah, you got the continue screen. Our remade game over. But yes, there's that. So now let me get to the thing that everyone is waiting for. So here's what I want you to understand about my videos on YouTube. Basically, my videos on YouTube are, because it's primarily me making all the characters and doing all of this, is that obviously I can only do so much at once. I'm only one guy. So what I do usually is like I work on something at a time, and then like sometimes I get burned out or get tired or get stuck, and then I'll move on to another character so that I won't like quit, so that I won't stop working. So I'll stay in the groove, right? That's why you'll see like I'm working on this character one week, I'm working on this character next week. It's just because it's like it's hard. Like I'm not gonna act like it's not, because I'm working on so many characters, studying so many characters, trying to get down these minute details, right? It can be challenging sometimes. I do love the challenge, but sometimes it can be very overwhelming. So I just do what I can. Our motto as a team, So most of the guys in the team are working full-time jobs or in school, as I'm saying, so they can't really be working on this right now at this current point in time. But when they can, they will come along and help me with some of these things when they can. But most of the time, it's just me doing this, so it is a bit of a slower process. And then I use those videos to basically show you progress. This is the progress I've made. I've updated this character, whatever, what have you. And I'm just also making videos to show you that I'm not dead, that I haven't given up, I haven't quit. So these videos are not me trying to show you all, oh, I have this and you don't. What the heck? So many people think like that. I'm trying to make a video game using all of the resources that I have myself, and I'm doing the best I can with what limited time I have. I don't do this full time, and I'm sure as hell not getting any type of support other than those who help me by using my store and those on the Patreon and stuff like that. So it is very daunting. Just know that. And I'm doing the best that I can. For anybody who truly messes with me, I'm doing the best that I can. And I think I'm doing a fantastic job at that. So the roster. This is a little bit dated, but I'm gonna correct it where I see errors. But anyways, you got Team Atetsuken. So the teams are the main focus on the game is gonna be turns, right? Like KOF. And it's KOF 99 specifically that inspired me for the 4-man teams. So teams of 4, right? And I didn't just randomly choose these characters. This is me doing hella research and being the nerd that I am, putting these teams together. So Team Atetsuken, of course, you got Ryu, Eva Ryu, Shin Ryu. Shin Ryu, if you guys don't know, is Ryu, Mastered Ryu, right? From the Street Fighter Unlimited. Shout out Udon. But also from a Mugen creator. I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Reu. R-E-U. I don't know how to say his name, but he made Evil Ryu and Evil Ken, 2 of the most popular Mugen characters in existence. So that initially was to honor him. So Evil Ken and Evil Ryu, the ones that he made, are in this as like hidden characters. But that's where I got the Shin Ryu's moveset. And then Udon later came out with their own Shin Ryu, which is like Ryu mastered the Satu no Hado and the power of nothingness to have this form, that Shin Ryu. And then you guys, if you looked at my shorts, I showed you one of Shin Ryu's supers, that counter punch. Is like the Satu no Hado. I mean, not Satu no Hado, but when he masters it, power of nothingness, and he punches Nakali, that's that move right there. But yes, that's what Shin Ryu is. And then we got Ken, and then I showed you guys another short showing you that characters can be in the same slot, right? So let's say after you unlock Evil Ryu, then you hover over Ryu and press the swap button, which there's a button specifically for that on the controller or the keyboard, whatever, and it'll change you to that alternate version of that character. There's no more of the Mugen style hold start and start as this form. It's not like that anymore because IkemenGo has the actual way that you can have multiple characters share a slot without taking up roster space. It's like that. And then Ken, Violent Ken, you guys know Violent Ken, Psycho Power Ken, and then Evil Ken. Evil Ken is going to be like a Satu no Hado inspired Ken if he were under the influence of the same power that Evil Ryu and Akuma had. And that's also from that creator. His moveset is based on that version of Evil Ken. And I said, we did this to honor him and everything he did for the community. Then we have Sean and Goken, Team Atetsuken, right? Team Special Forces. Okay, so it should be Charlie first, but this is Combos for Days put this together, but it doesn't really matter. Just as long as you know the characters that are on a team, right? So we got Guile, Charlie, also Shadow. I'm gonna make another character out of Shadow, and you guys know he was in X-Men versus. Wait, no, not X-Men. He was in Marvel vs. Capcom Superheroes as a hidden character. Yeah, so I'm gonna make give him his own unique moveset as if he were captured by Shadow Lu. And also the Life and Death of Charlie Nash. I highly recommend. That's one of the greatest Udon series that I've ever seen. That is the same thing that we are doing with this project, essentially taking all of everything that's happened in all of these games in media and putting them in one story. As I said, things that are not explained, we use those things we pull from these other games to use it as backup evidence to support like what really happened that was not shown on screen. So, anyways, Shadow is gonna be his own character. Chun Li and the Shadow Lady. Shadow Lady, I feel as though people understand she has a way more defined, unique moveset because Shadow doesn't actually have a unique moveset. He's just black. But I'm gonna give him a unique moveset because that's what I do with these alternate forms. I'm not just gonna make it like a costume. He's gonna have his own moveset unique to that version. And then Shadow Lady, she has the drill, the missiles, the giant laser. I showed you guys some of that already. You can see that. And then we got Cammy, right? So there's two versions of Cammy, I should say, since DiCaprio is not Cammy. So we got Cammy, which is Killer B, and then we got Delta Red. So you have both of those versions. And Cammy Delta Red, as you saw, is more based on her Street Fighter appearances. And then Killer B is based on her versus series incarnations, where she has the psycho power and everything like that. Because she was supposed to be a body for Bison, if you guys did not know that. And she's like super strong. So she's gonna be back as a sub boss, and she's gonna be using psycho power and all of that stuff in a completely different move set from Killer B. Killer B, as you saw, I've taken inspiration from like Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and things like that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with Killer B by using X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever, the game that she was in there, like the Versus series games. And then some custom stuff to show that she's a user of psycho power and things like that. So that's Team Special Forces. And then Team Final Fight, like I said, the order is not really in order, so whatever. So Guy, Cody, Maki, and Hagar. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The reason why the order, how I have it on the select screen though, is that I guess I could just pull it up really quick in the background. Let me see. Let me make sure I mute it though, so it's not super loud. So yeah, the order is important because I just wanted it to look cool like that on the select screen where everyone is like facing their rival. So let me see. Let's make sure I gotta mute this because it's gonna be loud. Okay, so yeah, because for example, I wanted Goken to be at the end, and then Hagar to be. Well, actually, no. I'll just show you when I show it the select screen so you can see. This is like so out of whack right now. But anyways, Team Final Fight, pretty self-explanatory. You already know the heroes plus Maki. Team Mad Gear, which is they're within the same slot of the Final Fight characters. You got Rolento, which is Takodi, Sodom, Guy, Hugo, Hagar, and Gunlock or Poison. If we ever get new Poison sprites, it'll be Poison versus Maki. So just letting you know. And then Team Rival Schools, we got Batu, Hinata, Kyosuke, Tiffany. That's whatever. That could be there. Whatever rival school character exists, that's interchangeable, or they could be in the same slot. But for right now, it's Tiffany. Team Warzord, Team Red Earth. We got Leo, Kenji, Tessa, Myling, Tsubasa, however you know them. Team Warzord. And then we got Team Neo Commandos, which are actually going to be in the forefront, right, of the actual SXE story because it's going to be dealing with timelines. And think of the Team Neo Commandos as the time patrol, right? Think of them like that. They're going through time to try to correct history and things like that to make sure the events play out as they should. So, of course, we got Captain Commando in the Captain Commando squad. We got Strider Hiryu. We got Jin Saotome. And then we got Hayato. So those characters are going to be at the forefront because I want to really emphasize, hey, bring these characters back. These characters are truly loved and we miss them. So that's that team right there. Team Capcom. Right now, this is kind of another interchangeable thing. That's why if it's I would just say yeah, because I don't know. It's just like we'll see how it goes. So Ruby Heart, she's gonna be doing her same thing that she was doing in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because she has a ship that travels through whatever. So she's gonna enter the fray. We'll see how we do about that. And she's gonna bring Jill Valentine along with her. Let's just say, Jill Valentine, and then we got Sansan potentially. We'll just have to see, like, cause I basically these are just like spots for right now. Like I'm not at this point. I haven't made all these characters yet, but this is just right now where what character could possibly be on this team. Hold up, let me see. Okay, so and then we got Falcon from Power Stone. So Falcon from Power Stone will be in this as well, representing Power Stone. And then Team Mega Man, we got Mega Man Zero, Mega Man Walnut, and Tronbone. That's also interchangeable because there's different versions of Mega Man, like X and Zero. There's Mega Man Zero as well. So Mega Man Zero is for sure in this because SNK, those sprites. Zero and X, their sprites were never truly finished. So it's gonna be that's like these type of things are like I know people want these characters and I do want to give you what you want, but it's like there's gonna be extra work involved with those because they're missing some animation. They're missing sprites more specifically. They're missing sprites and things that were not finished because at the time of the creation of X, I believe there was someone who was not able to afford it himself because I told you guys sprites are expensive. So things like that are just kind of like we'll see what happens if I can get the sprites. If I can somehow afford it, then of course I'll do it. But if I can't, I'm gonna just have to exit out. Just letting you guys know. That's just how everything is. Is like a if I'm able to do it, I'll do it. But if I'm not, it is what it is. So that's Team Mega Man for now. That could be interchangeable depending on, you know, see if I wanted to add base or Proto Man. I don't know. I will have to really research those sprites and everything. But as of now, I just classic Mega Man. The one from Marvel vs. Capcom. That's gonna be the first Mega Man character that I really like flesh out, which will determine how I'm gonna do the rest of the characters because they got a lot of moves, and I want to incorporate all of that stuff as best as I can without making it too wacky. And then how Mega Man he learns the move from what's his name Onslaught. I'm also gonna include that as a follow up, so he's gonna have that as a super as well. Let me see. Team Darkstalkers. We got Morgan, Awakened Morgan. That's Morgan, full power Morgan. That's because when she fuses with Lilith, if you guys don't know, Lilith is her power that was taken away. So Morgan is always suppressed until she gets this power. And then Morgan is like crazy OP. For people who do not know that Morgan is crazy OP. She is as strong as she is while suppressed. But Awakened Morgan is when she finally fuses back with Lilith and becomes her true self with both of those personalities within her. In the Marvel vs. Capcom games, you see when she fuses with Lilith in the beginning, that is Awakened Morgan. Right, so. And then I will have to come up with the move set and probably going to be custom and things like that. But we'll see what I can do with that. That's at the time that we did that, that's how I wanted it to be. And then we got Dimitri, Buleta, and Victor. So as we see with Team Darkstalkers is that none of these characters are necessarily allies, right? They just kind of like use each other type of thing. Except for Victor, he's the one lovable one. Unless you piss him off. And then let's go with Team Dark Hunters. We got Donovan, and then we got D, not me, Donovan's true vampire self. So as I was telling, someone had commented about this before, and I was saying that we haven't decided whether we're gonna give Donovan D's moveset and make him like an EX character, still using Donovan's original sprites, right? But with those additional moves and a different moveset, or are we gonna use the head swap, which is literally a different head on Dimitri's body? I really don't like that he's a head swap. I really don't. It would be cool if we could somehow put that head on on Donovan's sprites. It would be cool. But as of right now, we haven't gotten to that. So that's the thing that's up in the air. But yeah, I also want to include D as well because we wanted to finish the storyline of Anita meeting him in the end. We wanted to do that. But again, it's like one of those things that if the sprites happen to fall out of the sky, boom, like I got you, I'll get it done. But if not, hey, it's something like it's up in the air. And then we got Lele, Felicia, Gallon, Dark Gallon. You guys know him as John Talbane. I do not like John at all. So Gallon is his Japanese name. I prefer using the Japanese names of Darkstalker's characters. As you see, Buletta, Baby Bonnie Hood. Buletta is just way cooler. Come on now. Same thing with Gallon. Gallon and Dark Gallon. Dark Gallon is his berserker form. So look at it like this. Like basically, Gallon has an evil version. Like that's more like I say berserker because he loses himself as a werewolf. He doesn't have his conscience. He just wants to fight and kill. So is he necessarily evil? I don't know, but that's just what Dark Gallon is. That's why he's Dark Gallon and not Evil Gallon. And then we got Team Majigan, Jetta, Lilith, Zabel, Bishamon. So this is going to be different actually. So Lilith will go in the same slot as Morgan as she currently is right now. So you're going to have to unlock Lilith. She's going to be within the same slot as Morgan. So that's going to change to Pyron. And then Zabel and Bishuman are his main people that they're going to be fighting for the evil side. Yeah, so that's Team Majigan. And then Team Wrestling. These names are just temporary also, by the way. So thank you, Emmanuel, for doing this, by the way. So we got Zangief, Armika, Dalsum, Inihanda. So essentially, I am trying to include all the characters that were in CVS2 minimum, just because those sprites fit with the style of gameplay that I'm trying to do. And then, almost all of the characters. So look at it like this. So if any character does not make the actual playable roster, because this is something that could pretty much go on forever, it can always be done at a later date, but I'm not making any promises. They will appear in some other mode. Like you see how Sasquatch is not on here, but he's one of the enemies that you beat up in the adventure mode. Like that type of thing is what I'm saying. So the characters will still appear in the game. They just may not be playable right away, or if ever. It depends because it's just more work, literally. So it's just like if I have incentive to do that, we'll see. And then we got Team Alpha, we got Fei Long, T-Hawk, DJ, and Rose. Like a lot of these things they've been changed since then. But whatever. As long as you see that these characters are in. Team Kanzuki, we got Sakura, Dark Sakura. Dark Sakura is our own character. Karen, Blanca, and Dan. Then we got Team Third Strike, we got Alex, we got G Alex, which is the fusion of Gil and Alex. We got Dudley, Oro, and Remy. And then Team New Generation, we got Yoon, Yang, Ibuki, Makoto. I'm going to show you guys on the character select screen, by the way, how some of this stuff, I changed it. This is an old list that he made a while ago. But I've made a lot of changes to it since then. But like I said, the main point is for you to see, like you want to see, is your favorite character going to be there? This is for that. And then we got Team Illuminati, Gil, Urian, Necro, and Q. We got Team Shadowloo, we got Bison, Sagat, Vega, Balrog. Team Street Fighter 1, Adon, Gin, Birdie, Eagle. And that's for the Capcom side. And now we're going to get to... There's more Capcom characters, but they're sectioned off in bosses and solo entries and things like that. Next, I'm going to get to the SNK side. So, Team Japan, we got Kyo, EX Kyo, Kusanagi. We got Binamaru, Daimon, and Shingo. Team Japan. Team Fatal Fury, the classic, Terry, Andy, Joe, Mai. Team Women Fighters, so far, Kasumi. We'll see who goes here. It's undecided. Team Art of Fighting, got Rio, Robert, Takuma, and Yuri. Takuma also within Takuma is Mr. Karate, the first one. Mr. Karate second, and Elder Robert, we'll see. But I do have the sprites and their movesets already done and paid for. I already have this already. Team Southtown, we got Geese, Billy, Yamazaki, and Raiden. Team Kim, we got Kim, Ching Choi. I'm probably going to do this the CVS2 way with the puppet character style, not as individuals. And then Kim Jun, and then Mei Lee. And then this is like a Fate of Fury team, another derivative of a Fate of Fury team. Probably new challenges. This name, Fate of Fury 2, the new challenges. So we got Lei Zhangfeng, Rick, Alfred, and Duck. Then we got another Fate of Fury team. We got Tung Fu Ru, Jin Chanrei, Chansu, and this was Ching, the fat boy. And then Team Krauser, we got Krauser, Lawrence Blood, and then question mark, we'll see. Undecided. Then we got Team Psycho Soldiers. We got Chen, Athena, Goddess Athena, Sai Kinso, and Bao. So Goddess Athena, if anyone played SNK versus Capcom Chaos, that's the boss character. And also another version of Athena, like from a classic game. Team Agents, we got Blue Mary, Vanessa, Ramon, Seth. Team Makari, we got Leona, Orochi Leona, Ralph, Clark, Whip. Whether I make Hayden or not, we'll see. It all comes down to more sprites, more work, because I have to get customs, like the portraits, the character. I have to get all this custom stuff usually, so it depends. If I can get that stuff, we'll see. Team K, we got K, Maxima, Kula, and this is actually K99. K99 is here because I'm creating something different, because he's gonna he's not really a bad guy per se, but this is not gonna be any Foxy. And Nameless and K99 are now fused into one character. So K99 goes here with Team K. And then Team Nest is gonna be Ignis, Clone Zero. Not Clone Zero. It's gonna be Zero. But he's gonna have the movesets of both Zeros. So original Zero with the one that could use like the assist characters and the Clone Zero's Shadow Clone Jutsu moveset in one character. Chrysalid and Angel. So Angel is still going to be on Ness, and K99 is going to be trying to save her, basically. We'll see what happens with that, how that unfolds. Team Ash. So, Team Ash. Here we go. So, of course, we got Ash. Dark Ash is down here somewhere. You'll see. Elizabeth. We'll see. Because it's between Elizabeth or Oswald. And Oswald is freaking fire. Such a fire character. So, we'll see. And then I'm probably gonna put Lin somewhere on here. He's not on here, but I do want to add Lin, so we'll see where I find a spot for him. But just where was I on Elizabeth? If I'm motivated to do the extra work and have Oswald in a separate slot that's interchangeable, so you can have all versions of Team Ash, we'll see. But yeah, Ash, Elizabeth, Oswald, Dualon, and Shin. Team Yagami, we got Iori, Orochi, Mature, Vice, and Chizuru. Team Ragul, we got Ragul, God Ragul, Adele. Oh, here's Lin right here. Saishu and Lin. This was just at the time that this was done. Don't worry about this order so much, but yeah, just know that, like I said, these characters we considered to create them. Team Anti Kyokugen, we got Mr. Big, Toto, Eiji, and King. Yes, this is back when King, we're going to start it there where she's still being blackmailed and everything. So she's eventually going to get saved by Rio, and all of that will unfold. We got Team Hakeshu. We got Goldens, of course, leader of the four Heavenly Kings. Chris. Within Chris is Orochi. Orochi is going to be a boss character that you fight in some of the modes. So he's going to be like a big thing in the game. But right now, Chris can transform into Orochi and play as him. Like it's like a level 3 super that takes like half of your health, and you could transform into the actual boss that is Orochi. So when it says Chris Orochi, there's Chris, Orochi Chris, and Orochi. Right? It's not. I'll show you in a second, actually, just so you can see. But yeah, let me give me a second here. Sorry about that. Hold up. I think I disabled it. Hold up. Okay, I'll do that later. But anyways, I made videos on it. You can search my name, put Chris, Orochi Chris. I made it like that. So he could transform into the actual boss version of Orochi in addition to his Orochi form. So I just wanted to make sure that it's understood that those are different. And then we got Yashiro. And it's not on here, but these characters, all of the Orochi characters have some type of install transformation, which is basically their Orochi forms. So Yashiro, he does have his Orochi form. Same with Shermie. They have their Orochi forms, even though I think it's probably, no, it's not down here. But yeah, they do have it though. And then we got Team Garo. I'm just going to keep going. We got Rock, Hotaru, Kim, Donghwan, Kim Jae-hoon, Kim's sons. And then Garo Team 2, we got Janet, we got Tizak, Kevin, and Hokutomaru. And then we got Team Second Southtown, we got Kane, Grant, Gato, and Freeman. Then Team Last Blade, we have Kaede, Awaken Kaede, aka Super Saiyan Kaede. We got Moria, Yuki, the trio, and Hibiki. And then Team Last Blade 2, we got Akari, Washisuka, Shinose Kagami, and Setsuna. Team Samurai Showdown, we got Hamaru, Ratsumaru, Nakaruru, Charlotte. Galford is a character that I wanted so badly, but his sprites are not good for this type of gameplay. So right now it's Rimuru right here, but I wanted Galford. And then you can find a video on the channel that I tried to get more sprites for Galford, but it's just tough because this character does not have good sprites that will fit with this type of gameplay. That's why it's a question mark. I really want him though. I really want Galford. I wish he could get new sprites. We got Team Samurai Showdown 2. We got Yoshitora, of course, the boy. Iroha, for those that like her. Mina, and Rimuru, as I said. And then Team Samurai Showdown 3, we got Shizumaru, Cham Cham, Question, Kyoshiro. So this could be, it's undecided. And then Team Samurai Showdown, like the rivals team, like the villain team, Genzuro, Shiki, Asura, not Capcom Asura, SNK Asura, and Amuska, the boss from that game. If I pronounced it wrong, sorry. And then we got Team Rage of the Dragons. Yes, I know about the history of Rage of the Dragons, but this was way before that we did this, and we wanted to include it to pay our respects to this game. So we got Jimmy Lee, Billy Lee, Pepe, and Poopa. Poopa. Then we got Team Neo Geo, which is another team. We got Guy, Silver, Sho, Mr. Boomerang himself, and Shishio. Team Neo Geo 2. And then one character that's going to be here somewhere is, I'm probably going to put him within Sho Hayate, is Sho from Breakers. He's not, that's considered a guest character, by the way. But there's a specific reason why I'm including him that's completely outside of this. So basically, someone who was supporting me paid for the sprites. They commissioned the sprites, so I'm going to include it in this for them. But other than that, don't talk to me about guests right now, okay? Please. And then Team Neo Geo 2, we got Marco, Hanzo, Fuma, and Kisara from Aggressors of Dark Combat. And then here's some solo hidden entry characters. We got Akuma, Shin Akuma, Ingrid, Skullomania, Julie Juni, Mega Man, Walnut. This was up there, but it should have been right here. Yeah, this, like I said, these could be changed, but you saw these names already up here. And then Dark Ash, Shion, Maki, Darks. These are just like for, you see, sub bosses, mission mode stuff. Mecha Zangief, Mecha Akuma. We'll see. We'll see what happens with those sprites. We'll see. Orochi Uri, Mr. Karate, Jetta. Yeah. And then the boss is Shin Akuma, God Regul, Orochi, Shin and Bison, Gil, Alex, Gil, and these versions of Eva Ryu and Pyron. So those are the names so far. Those are the characters so far that I might want to do. Maybe. We'll see. But that is the roster for now. As of right now, there are some guest characters that I had in mind that I hadn't included on here. But like I said, I have to do all of this. And if you're trying to track my progress, you can always refer to this, because until you see me have videos of every single one of these characters, you're gonna know how far along I am. And I'm not very far along at all, because I'm telling you, I am doing this by myself, mostly, primarily, one by one, doing all of these characters and researching them and trying to get all the moves, trying to find a budget for the sprites and all of this stuff. So I just appreciate people being patient. That's the only thing I can ever ask from anyone. That's it. I don't need anything else. Let me see here. Now I'm gonna show you the select screen. Hold up. So like I said, I'm going to show you some of the changes, and don't mind my select screen as there's some errors here and there, whatever, but okay, so as I was showing you before, that characters can be within of the same slot like this without taking up a slot. You can fit multiple characters in the same one, just like this. Ryu, Eva Ryu, Ryu, Eva Ryu. Kin, it'll be Violent Kin. But also, do you see how it's like this? Rio versus Ryu. Cody versus Terry. Charlie versus Ralph. Sakura versus Kyo. Karen, Bidemaru, Blanca, Daimon, Shingo, Dan. I think Saishu is right here as well, but also Mary's right here. And then Team Kim is up here. And then this is where I was telling you that, look, Final Fight Cody, if we could get those sprites updated, I will include this version of Cody. And then Rolento was also here. I have to re-add him. Or maybe he's like right here. Yeah, okay, for now. But I'm gonna put Rolento in here too, because I also want to put Poison if we ever get updated sprites for Poison. So as you see, Sodamus right here with Guy, Hagar, Hugo, and then for now, because they have a special intro in Alpha 3, by the way, if you don't know that. And then same thing, Shadow is gonna be right here. Oops, let me just go back. So Shadow will be here the same way that Chun-Li, Shadow Lady, just like that. And then Cammy, as I told you guys, Cammy, you got DiCapri. I could go either way. Killer B, DiCapri, Cammy, DiCapri, Killer B, all in one slot. DiCapri, Killer B, Cammy, and they have different movesets, all of them. They got some of the same normals, but you guys know how that goes. But I try to make it as different as possible. And then Dark Soccer will also be here. Dark Karen potentially. That's an old character that I made a long time ago that I may make just for like a what if thing, just for fun. And then of course you got Dan, Blanca, and Team Japan. And then K, Kula, Maxima, K99, as I said. Ignis is right here. Original Zero was right here. Angel was right here. And Chrysalid is right here. And then Team Street Fighter 3, we got Alex right here. Interchangeable as Yoon. Ibuki under Ibuki. Yang under. Okay, so these two are like this for right now, because this is supposed to be this team right here, the new generation. It's supposed to be like this. And then here, Alex, this is supposed to be Dudley right here, and then Oro and Remy. I'm not gonna take up the time, but I'll just have to keep doing this. Iori, Chizuru, Vice, Mature, and then I got Dimitri versus Iori. Morgan, Chizuru, Vice, Victor, and then Buleta, Mature. I like the Vice and Victor thing because they're both grapplers, and I want to make something out of that. I know some of these would be better in different spots, but I like how it is right now, and I'm fine with it. Like Iori and Donovan could be good, or Donovan and Rock could be good because they're blood and everything. But Team Dark Hunter, Donovan, Lele, Felicia, Gallon, Dark Gallon. Then I showed you guys in that clip, Team Samurai Showdown. And then within them is Team Last Blade. Got Kaede, Yuki, Moria, and Hibiki, Charlotte, Rimo, Nakaru. And then Batsu, Kyosuke, Hinata, Rock. Within Rock is Kane. Within J is going to be Grant. And then Within her is Gato. And then within Juan is going to be another character as well, Freeman or whatever. Captain Commando, within Captain Commando, boom, Mega Man, Hiryu, Jill, Ruby Heart, Trombone. This, like I said, the order so much doesn't matter right now because I'm like in the process of doing all of this stuff. So this really doesn't matter right now. I'll probably change it. And then we got Marco versus Captain Commando, of course. And then Hanzo, Hiryu, Fuma, Hayato, and then Guy and Jin. Oops, I actually pressed that on accident. Trying to see, do I have anything else? Nah. Geese, Mr. Big, Billy, Yamazaki, Raiden. Geese versus Bison. Number 2 versus number 2. This is when Sagat was still working with Shadowloo. So I'm gonna keep Sagat as a villain, just so you guys know. And he's only gonna start changing over at the very end, as he does in canon. But he's still on Shadowloo, because these are the generals of freaking Bison. The generals. They need to be respected. But yeah. And then Gil, Ash, Urian, Shin, Yolan is gonna be right there. Elizabeth, Oswald, and then Q and Necro are gonna be on this Team Illuminati. And then we got the 4 Heavenly Kings. In within Gonitz is Orochi himself. And then Orochi, maybe Yashiro, Orochi Yashiro, Shermie, Orochi Shermie, Chris, Orochi Chris will be there. Jeddah, Pyron. And it's going to be Bishamon and Zabel. What is this guy's name in English? Lord Raptor. His name is Lord Raptor in English, I believe. But in addition to characters in the hidden slots like that, you can also have characters that are off screen because you only have so much space on the select screen. So I got Kenzo here, Genjiro, Vanessa, Rick, Zangief, Honda, Ragul. These are just this. Like I said, this order doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything right now. It's just like as I'm working on this, this is just how I had it at this time. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much like it. Like for explaining like a lot of this stuff. And of course, I guess I could say why you're seeing this. I'm gonna make special intros for all of the characters, all of the teams. Look at that little clone right there, that error, but whatever. Like all of the characters that are like this, they got special intros. And then all of the characters within a team minimum have special intros with one another. That's another thing that I try to do. So all of the characters that are on the same team have special intros with each other. So that's another thing I'm trying to do. Trying to, in addition to moves and references, create more special intros, more character interactions and all of that. And as you saw, we also have the dialogue and everything as well. So I'm trying to include all of that because I love all of it. Because as you just saw that, you could just skip this, right? I'm pressing it, whatever. Or I could just press it, skip, just like that. So it doesn't really matter. I'm concluding it in the game because I love lore and things like that. So all of that will be there. If you don't like it, skip it. I will make another video to go over like the specifics of the gameplay and everything like that. But right now, this was just, like I said, my plans of what I want to do and what I hope to do and what I've been trying to accomplish very slowly over time. It's like progress is very, very slow, but it's still progress. And shout out to everyone who I didn't mention, anyone who has helped me, anyone who I've commissioned, things like that, anyone who I've been working with over the course of time. Thank you guys. Shout out Luke, Emmanuel, Nate, Infant, Jackson, and everybody else, man. I'm just like having a brain fart because I'm thinking about so many things. Like, but you guys know I love y'all for real. And everyone who's been rocking with me all this time, I appreciate y'all. But like I said, excuse me, I'll make another video some other point in time going over the specifics of what I'm trying to do with the gameplay. But as you watch all of these shorts and everything, I want you to keep in mind everything I've been saying over the course of this video. Adding all moves from all games to these characters. As you see, I'm creating moves that they've had in 3D games and transferring it to 2D, right? All of this stuff is a learning process for me. I'm learning how to do this. I have all these games, I'm studying them. I have to play them over and over to make sure that I'm getting it right. You can help me by playing these games, by buying these games. I understand that people are kind of anti-corporate. They hate everyone trying to make money, but games need for you to support them if you love them. If you do not love it, do not buy it. But if you guys love fighting games and you love this stuff, please support the games. And then, of course, use my link as well, because you're really going to help me out. I don't really have anyone else to help me out other than, like I told you, these methods that they've given me to, to help me out with that. So buy the games, even if you don't use my store. Buy the games and play them so you understand what I'm doing, so you understand the references, so you can relive this stuff with me when you see it for the first time as well. Because a lot of this stuff that I'm doing, people are like, what the hell? I don't understand any of these references. Hey, it just goes to show you did not play the game. There's too many people out there who have this memory, this nostalgia of what they thought these games were. When's the last time you actually went back to play them? So you can know for sure and you can actually remember it. So you can actually buy the game. So you can actually support these brands that you love. Actually go and play the game so you can see and remind that kid version of you why you loved it in the first place. So that's all for me for today. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out. And thank you guys for watching this, sitting through this. More info coming soon.